I thought this was a good E3. A lot of people don't seem to agree with me there, at least the people in the comment sections of the press conference videos. I might have liked it partially because I'm a Nintendo fan and this E3 was basically everything a Nintendo fan could have hoped for, but I think some of the other companies had some good reveals this year as well, mainly Sony. So before I get into the Nintendo stuff, let's talk about some of the other conferences. I like Sony a lot. They're kind of my second favorite of the big three, and if I could say one thing about Sony this year, it would be that they made me want a PS4. More than I did before anyway. In my opinion, there were quite a few good reveals in their conference, and those on top of the tons of other great games that are already out for the PS4 are making me consider looking for one later this year. Let's talk about some of these reveals. One of the games I want to mention wasn't quite a reveal, but it did show off new stuff, and that was Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Apparently this game had already been announced prior to E3, but I hadn't heard anything about it, so it's basically a reveal for me. I really like the Uncharted series. I've played all of 2 and a decent portion of 3, so seeing it come back in this way is exciting to me. I feel like ending it with Thieves' End would have made the series die too quickly, so yeah, I like seeing Uncharted. There was also more on Detroit Become Human. I've been interested in this game for a while, since I saw its first trailer actually, and whenever I see it in action, it's got my attention. I find the premise of the game quite interesting. People have been saying, what if our machines had an uprising and tried to take over the world for a while? But that's always kind of been from the perspective of the robots being evil. In Detroit, they're more oppressed, like slaves. It's an interesting idea that already gets me a bit invested in the characters and what they're trying to do. I want to see more of this game for sure, but I'm not sure how much longer I can last without getting a release date! The last one I want to cover for Sony is the obvious SpiderMan. Everyone's talking about this game, and I definitely think it's well warranted. The developers clearly know how to make Spider-Man feel like Spider-Man. It's got cool moves, awesome spectacle, and the obnoxious, cocky dialogue from Spider-Man that everyone's familiar with.
Hi! Is this the flight to Newark?
I thought the combat looked good. That's something I always felt was a bit weak in other Spider-Man games, and it actually had some cool gadgets I'd never seen before, which I really liked. The only thing I found worrisome was the QuickTime events. Stuff like this I don't really like because it doesn't really involve the player much. It's just pressing buttons when you're told to, that in most cases wouldn't actually make your character do the things that they're currently doing, which makes it feel detached from the rest of the game. But it seems these QuickTime events aren't actually too common in the game based on an interview with one of the devs, so I'm not too worried. I have to agree with everyone saying Microsoft's conference was pretty bad though. Most of the stuff there was pretty boring, and Jesus, they would not stop talking about 4K. Guys, if you want to masturbate to Minecraft in Ultra HD, try not to make it so obvious, please. But there was one thing during the Microsoft conference that caught my eye. Actually, it was unveiled during the EA conference, but Microsoft was where I saw it. Anthem. I wasn't even paying attention to the gameplay here. I was just blown away by the graphics because damn! Seriously, it's amazing what we can do with technology these days. The lighting is so realistic, the character models and animations are so detailed, the entire world is just sprawling with stuff. I love it! Makes me wish I had an Xbox One just to play this, but I'm definitely not investing in something like that. We'll have to see what the game itself turns out to be like, but for now, I'll just be here marveling at the graphics. One other game I want to bring up shouldn't be a surprise: Sonic Forces. I've honestly been pretty unsure about this game for quite a while. I always thought it looked like it would be at least okay, but that it wasn't showing enough originality or personality for me to be too confident in it. Now I'm starting to feel a little better about Forces. The E3 footage that was shown really gives a better idea of how the game looks and feels, from the visuals to the sound to the gameplay. And overall, I like this feel. Sonic's friends talking to you over radio actually adds a lot of personality to the game in my opinion. The whole idea of Forces is joining the uprising, and with all this communication between the characters, you get a sense of how it's an organized tactical rebellion, and it makes it pretty cool to me. And the gameplay, of course, looks pretty good too. It definitely looks like the gameplay of Generations cleaned up some to make it more enjoyable, and the frame rate of 60 makes it all the better. I like what I'm seeing of the Avatar's playstyle too. I'm not sure how it will compare to the Sonics in the final game, but to me it looks to be at least decent. We'll just have to wait and see really, but as it stands now, I think Forces is looking to be better than some people are giving it credit for. Obviously, Mario Odyssey was amazing. Everyone's been talking about it. The grand return of open 64-style Mario levels. You can turn into anything you throw your hat at. It's amazing, it's creative, it's unprecedented, it's And honestly, yeah, I'd have to agree. There's not much I can say that hasn't already been said about this game. It's exactly what the Mario franchise has needed after so many repetitive games that played it too safe. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there with Mario as a dinosaur. The other big kicker for me, actually probably bigger, was Metroid Prime 4. Woo, baby! I'm actually not even a Metroid fan, but this got me crazy excited. Metroid is a series I've wanted to get into for a while, and I've actually played a significant portion of Super Metroid. So this is perfect not just for Metroid fans, but me too. This was exactly what I had hoped for this E3. I thought it might happen, but definitely wasn't betting on it. So something this insane made this year one of my favorite E3s. There were tons of other great announcements from Nintendo as well, like the other Metroid games, Samus Returns, 2 Metroid games, Rocket League on Switch, and Kirby, all of which I'm pretty excited for. And that's not all, there's Pokemon and God, there's so much, it's great! This E3 made me really happy, and I'm super excited now to see what's coming in the future for Nintendo and many other companies as well. And that's pretty much all I got, so thanks for watching. If you want to see more Nintendo related stuff with me in it, I'd recommend heading over to the Sunscreen Squad, where we do Let's Plays of tons of different games, and we'll actually probably be doing ARMS and AM2R soon. So check that out if you're interested, and see you later. Bye.